Here we go. All right, what's up, guys? How you doing? Real excited to be here. It's a real honor for me to be here, okay? Because I just love coaching football. You guys love coaching football. It's just so great to have so many clever people in one room. I think all you guys are clever, despite no matter what anyone else says. You guys are in this talk, so I like you, okay? It means you have some interest in special teams. You have some interest in my lovely job of directional kickoff, okay? That's what I'm going to talk about today. A little bit about, everything really around kickoff, the scheme, how I teach it, some drills, some teach tape from the ELF, from the NFL, the NCAA, and from the teams I've coached as well, okay? So that's coaching in the UK for a little bit, amateur football, coaching at the academy, coaching all over the place, okay? I've only been a coach for 6 years, okay? So I don't know a whole bunch, but hopefully I can learn some stuff from you guys as well later. Where we're at right now, you guys are in a great spot, okay? It's the off-season of the GFL. You've done all the lifting and running, and now you're probably starting to practice football again. You're probably starting to do your 11 on 11 again, okay? For us coaches, the off-season is about evaluating ourselves, okay, and being very reflective. Okay, you want to seek new angles of examination. That's essentially what are the different ways I can look at my coaching and look at my team. If I only look at it from an offensive point of view and I'm an offensive coach, well, why don't I go try learn some defensive concepts and then look at my offense through that way? That's one example, okay? I talk about problematizing your coaching a lot, and that essentially means, okay, and it's very hard to do, but it's who am I as a coach? What am I about? What am I good at? What do I need to improve at? What does my team require of me? Okay, and that's less about scheme. It's more about evaluating your own behaviors and philosophies, okay? I'll talk a little more about that later on, okay? Gathering resources is huge. You're here today. You're going to gather some information from me. Maybe. I don't know. I hope you do, okay? But you're going to gather resources, different playbooks, different opinions, and, you're going to put it all together, figure out what works for your team. The biggest thing on this that I want you to take away from this is never be afraid to contradict who you were yesterday or what you previously thought, okay? Never be afraid to say the 2025 version of me, Coach Jack, was a dumbass for doing this, 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 and this. There's so much of our tape that I'll show you today that I'm going to say, I wish I coached that better. I have no idea why I did that. I taught that guy badly. Okay? Don't be afraid to do that, okay? Because the best coaches are reflective. The best coaches evolve. They're not afraid to criticize themselves, okay? Everyone else will criticize you for free, okay? Everyone wants to be a critic, okay? Really the only people whose opinion to you should matter, really, I always think is yourself. And maybe you have 2 or 3 really, clever mentors. But don't be afraid to contradict who you were yesterday, okay? It shows growth. Okay, so that being said, let's go into this presentation, okay? Firstly, the aim of this is just to overview some key concepts within any kickoff scheme. I'll talk to you about directional kickoff, and then I'll look at the breakdown of the teaching and the drilling, and then the continuous development of key coverage concepts and skills. Okay, we'll talk about it a lot, okay? Talk about leverage, which is my favorite word. Talk about some leverage drills, how we create vertical levels on kickoff, just the directional kickoff. Combining landmarks and man marks. You've probably heard of that before. I'll talk about my views on that. Looking at different kick returns on film, attacking different kick returns, and then block, destruct, selection, and drills, okay? So there's a lot of good stuff for every kickoff scheme. There's a lot of stuff for defensive coaches as well. First thing I want to talk about, okay, is some things I think about when I teach. So of the 10 teams I've coached at, only one team, okay, that was in America, only one team, everyone had played football before. On every single one of these teams, I was coaching someone that had never played football before. Everyone in this room, probably at this point, last season, this season, will coach someone who's never played football, correct? Yep. You get new guys every time, okay? Kid walks up, he's 6'4", 220, he's a swimmer or a basketball player, and you go, oh my God, yes, I got a freaking giant on my team. But he's never played football before, okay? So these are the things that we got to think about, okay? There's a lot here that I'm going to talk about that relates to teaching guys, in a broader way, okay? Football is an extremely information-heavy sport on new players, okay? They are learning new physical techniques, new strategic concepts, and then the key thing is they're learning how to piece those two things together. Okay? It's a new language, okay? You don't teach football in English, you teach football in football, okay? Football is its own language that we all universally speak. okay? Special teams can either be a place of growth or it can be a place of further confusion, okay? If you teach special teams as a completely separate thing to offense and defense, so I got my offensive guys here, my defensive guys here, and my special team weirdos way over here, your players will think of it as something completely different, but it's really not, okay? It really isn't. If you teach special teams as offensive, defensive plays, just with a kick in it, it reduces the amount of information that your players have to take in. Because now, the tackle approach I do with the special teams coach is the same tackle approach I do with the defensive coach, okay? And then you start to get better. Players think less. And when players think less, they play fast. But here's the thing, guys. When players think, they stop playing, okay? If you overload your guys with information, okay, they will stop playing. And they're players. Our job is to think, their job is to play. We have to get them to a point where they can play fast. And it comes from repetition. It comes from having great eyes. But it also comes from the coach not being a dickhead and giving them 10,000 schemes to learn, okay? Just get it simple, get it in their brain, and then let them play fast. Because then it's more fun, okay? Then it's just more fun. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about as it relates to kickoff is leverage, okay? Leverage is so, so important. Here we go. Kickoff coverage utilizes skills and concepts of defensive play. The ultimate aim, if I'm a defender, if I'm a defensive player, for me, when I'm tackling a ball carrier, is to keep my predetermined leverage on him. So if I am a corner way out here and you're a running back running towards me, I'm going to keep you on my right foot and my right shoulder. Or if I'm a safety rolling down here and we get an inside zone right up the gut, I'm going to be left foot, left shoulder player, okay? That is defense, okay? Keep your leverage. Leverage to me is very simple. It's what foot and what shoulder should I tackle the ball carrier with, okay? That is ultimately what defensive tackling comes down to in my world, okay? And then that's all kick coverage is, okay? Can I keep the guy inside and in front? Can I keep him left foot, left shoulder, right foot, right shoulder, whatever you want to be? Leverage is life, okay? Leverage is life, okay? Teams that play with leverage, they play disciplined on defense. They limit big plays, and they tackle with proper technique. Near foot, near shoulder tackling, okay? If you still teach head across, that's a different conversation, okay? But for me, teaching near foot, near shoulder tackling, as in if I'm tackling this big guy right here, which may not be a very good idea for me being 180, okay? I'm going to try and tackle him with my near foot and my near shoulder, not trying to do this and get across right foot, right shoulder, left shoulder, whatever side of the field the guy's on. Okay, but you've got to keep your leverage, okay? Leverage can win you games, having great leverage, okay? All of my kind of playbooks that relate to coverage, this is punt, this is kickoff. Something I do is I define the leverage that I want my guys to keep, okay? Here, just a right or left, rex or links, okay? Do you want to be a right foot, right shoulder player or a left foot, left shoulder player? Same here. They got to understand what they're going to be, okay? What foot and shoulder do I want to tackle this ball carrier with? If you define it on every play for your players, that will lead to confidence, okay? Everyone's probably heard of the idea of a tackle plan. It's scary, okay? As a new player playing the sport, going 1,000 miles an hour, trying to run 50 yards and tackle a guy, man, it's chaotic. There's guys flying across your face and he's going to block me. Oh, he's bluffed me and gone around. Oh, my God. We got to build confidence in our players, okay? And it comes from clarity. Part of that is having a tackle plan. That's the first part of it, okay? What foot and shoulder do I need to tackle the guy with? That's the first part of the plan, okay? Then, here we go. Come on, huddle. It helps you build confidence in a chaotic situation. You combine it with teaching block destruction. Now you have an effective and confident kickoff unit, okay? Tackle plan, leverage, and later we'll talk about block destruction. Okay, so let's look at some great leverage teach tape, okay? Because you can tackle anyone if you just keep really good leverage. This first clip is honestly one of my favorite ones in the whole world. I hope it's going to show up. Hold up. I need to reload this. My fault, guys. Come on. Here we go. Now we're going. This Wi-Fi is killing me, guys. Okay, so this is my favorite clip, okay, in all of football, okay? This guy here, he's very fast because he's a kickoff return man, okay? Now, this is after a field goal, okay? So, you know, this is a big-time situation. This guy here, less fast. You see by the number, he's an offensive lineman. But this guy knows I got to keep it on my right foot and my right shoulder. This guy should never, ever tackle that guy in space, correct? Because he's paid millions of dollars to be fast. He's paid millions of dollars to stop guys being fast, okay? He ain't an open field tackler, but he's a smart football player. He's my favorite player in the whole world. I got to keep him right foot and right shoulder. Oh my God, you fucking asshole. Here we go. I swear to God. I thought the Wi-Fi was supposed to be good in Germany. Not so good. Here we go. Look at that. Look at that, though. That's awesome. Way to go, 66. Works to the outside, okay? Works to the outside because he's got to keep him inside and in front. Makes him stop his feet. Big tackle, okay? Because he understands leverage, okay? This is, this is amateur football right here, what I coach in the UK. This guy's a receiver, never made a tackle in his life. The only thing he's got to do, he's my cutoff guy. Keep the guy on your left foot and your left shoulder. That's all you've got to do, okay? Go do it. This helps us create a big kickoff play, okay? Because it stops him getting to the field. He knows he's got to keep him right here, so I'm going to work with it. If that guy who's an American fast guy gets out there, bad for me, okay? Bad for our team. But Tom does a great job staying, hey, stay there. Now I can rip off and make a tackle, okay? Just really simple understanding of great leverage. Now, here's another great thing about leverage, okay? If you lose leverage, anyone can score on you. For example, you would not expect a fullback to pick up the ball 10 yards and run 90 yards and score a touchdown, correct? Because he's a fullback, okay? Love to all the fullbacks out there, okay? But you guys ain't returners, okay? It's okay. You're good at other things. But if you play with bad leverage, okay, like number 37's about to do, okay, he's got to keep it where? On his right foot and his right shoulder and knock all of this in so we can make a gang tackle in the middle here. But he loses leverage, okay? Oh, shit. Now we got a big play happening because now it's 47 running at a kicker. What a good deal. And now the Texans have got a touchdown out of really nothing. One guy not doing a good job of keeping leverage. Huge play that should have never happened, okay? Now you just look at any, good kickoff team. They do a good job of keeping leverage. Here we got a vice tackle situation. Keep them on your right foot and your right shoulder. Left foot, left shoulder. That's all you got to do, okay? And they do a pretty good job here. The technique is whatever, but the leverage, though, the leverage that he keeps throughout this play, okay, and how he matches the steps of the returner. So here, the returner judders, he slows down a little bit, and then he knocks his ass in, okay? But that's great leverage, okay? It's a predetermined idea. I'm a right foot, right shoulder player. I'm going to tackle him with my right foot and my shoulder, a little bit of my helmet, but, that's whatever, okay? But the leverage part of it was really good, okay? Let's look at some simple leverage drills, okay? The first thing that I want to talk about is creating a drill menu, okay? You've probably seen these for offense and defense. This is some work I did with the Oslo Vikings in Norway. You don't have to take a picture of it because I'm going to give it all to you for free, okay? Don't worry, guys, okay? And I got the diagrams of all these. But put one of these together for your team, okay? Find 5 kickoff drills, find 3 kickoff drills for different, kind of areas. Put them all on there so you can constantly reference and say, hey, 2 weeks ago I ran this, so I don't need to do it this week. Or yesterday I ran this. I have one for my running backs at the academy where it just sits on my desk and I look at it and I go, right, I ran these 3 yesterday. I don't need to do them again. Etc., etc. It helps you organize all your drills in your mind. Okay? First part of teaching leverage is teaching tackle approach for me because that's the finish. Okay? Tackle approach is so important. I call it shimmy just because that's the word I use for it. But this is a very simple reactionary drill where we're going to teach the tackle approach part and the technique. I don't need to go into great detail now. Okay? Everyone has their own way of teaching tackle approach. It's just how I do it. Near foot, near shoulder, come to balance, shimmy, finish, okay? And then you do that with your players, okay? Here's me doing it again in Oslo, just giving them a direction. This is a great place to start when you're kind of teaching big field coverage. It's a good place to start when you're teaching defensive tackle approach, okay? Then you start to build it up a little more, okay? Everyone's done this drill before, the 2-man vice drill, okay? and you work as the returner, for me, it's always better to have a coach as the returner, because a player will just go, boom, and then you get no drill out of it, okay? Or he'll go, boom, and then you get no drill out of it, okay? I don't need to show you a video of this. You've done it before. You can work different get-offs. You can have them release like a gunner. You can have them pre-engaged on another guy and have them rip, and then go and do this tackle approach drill, okay? Don't need to show you that, okay? It's these next two drills which I think are so important. How you challenge a player who has lost their leverage to regain it, okay? This one's super important for me because it's all about, hey, it's the desperation of having to go and get back to my leverage once I've lost it. So it's very similar. You just point at one guy, you're going to work around the middle cone, and now you've got to run back and get your leverage and force me to go back in as the returner. Force me to your help. Again, you've all probably done this drill, right? But I think this is such a good drill to do at the start. You can do it at speed. You can do it with the entire team, I think. You know, really, really good. I don't think that guy kept his leverage very well. That's why I was annoyed. Okay, that guy didn't do the drill right. That's my fault because I'm a dumbass coach and I shouldn't have put him there, okay? So now he understands, okay, coach, I'm going to work in there. Okay, now I got to work out and keep my leverage. Kind of, not bad. Still got the shimmy approach, okay? That's a really good one to challenge people who have lost their leverage. Another one, great one to do is a 3 returner drill, okay? You either throw it to him, or him. Throw it to the middle guy, it's just a very simple vice tackle approach. You throw it to any of those edge guys, this guy has to go regain leverage, or that guy has to go regain leverage. And again, you're challenging players to, hey, I'm a right foot, right shoulder player, but for some reason you're out there. Fuck me, I got to go work my ass over here, force you back in, not give up the sideline, not give up the outside, okay? This is just an example of me running it, throwing it. And these are two big offensive linemen here, okay? You know, you want to teach everyone to tackle because eventually you're going to kick a field goal and there's going to be an American dude under it. And as much as I like you German guys, you got 11 big fat Germans trying to tackle like Devin Burrell, and that's no bueno, okay? That's not good for you guys, okay? Not good for your team, okay? You got to teach these guys to keep leverage. That's a really good tackle approach by, honestly, both of these dudes. And this is just amateur amateur football in Norway, okay? Then I'd throw it to either this guy or this guy out the wing, make him run around. Because it's a short throw, you can put anyone there, honestly, like, if they can catch, they can play this. All they got to do is run in a straight line. Just very simple drills that teach you leverage. Okay, so that's a little bit on the horizontal part of kick return, okay? That's the horizontal leverage that we must keep. I'm doing good for time. Now I'm going to talk about the vertical part. And this is a topic that is very close to my heart because I got my ass whooped because I didn't know about this. And I wish someone had told me this before I started coaching in the ELF, that you need vertical levels on your kickoff. I just didn't know. I was inexperienced. So it's a pretty sunny day in Poland. We're playing at a big stadium. They painted the field. There's a big Panther logo in the middle. I'm the special teams coordinator. I'm 24 years old. I'm feeling pretty good because I'm a young coordinator. You know how us young guys are. We like to get elevated really quickly. And then we figure out, well, we don't know shit about what we're doing. And then we get our ass whipped, okay? So we've all been there. It's okay. So I'm thinking, great, we're like 2 scores up. Coach Gabe was our offensive coordinator. He was kicking their ass all day. Shit, all we got, this is right before the half. We're up by 2 scores. It's like 1 minute to go before the half, okay? We had no vertical levels. So you get a good returner like Aaron Jackson in there. 1 cut, I've got nobody, okay? I've got 2 players in a 5-yard space, and then everyone else is beyond the line of scrimmage. And then it's just my 18-year-old kicker against their American import receiver. Bad coaching. Not many coaches will get up in here and tell you that they are a bad coach. I was a bad coach, okay? I was trying to do a lot of things, and then, you know, run down the sideline. Head coach is pissed off at me. I'm pissed off at myself. Whatever, okay? Bad play. But you learn and you move on, okay? So that day, a young, inexperienced special teams coordinator learned that if you don't have vertical levels, a great returner will make you pay, and they made us pay. Now, we ended up winning the game because we had a really good offense, okay? So they kind of bailed me out that day. Horizontal leverage matters at the point of attack. What foot and what shoulder am I going to tackle you with, okay? That matters at the point of attack and when you get a little closer. But having great vertical separation prevents those big plays from happening, okay? Again, it's a defensive concept. The same way that defense has levels, D-line, linebacker, DB. first level, second level, third level, okay? You have to have it on kickoff. You must have vertical separation. This is something that will be a non-negotiable for me. So the next week, we're playing against another great team, the Stuttgart Surge. Thank you to the ELF for scheduling this for us, okay? Again, really, really dangerous returners, okay? A whole gaggle of really good returners, okay? Some guys that aren't even on the field. Completely changed our kickoff scheme. Now I'm going to make it more of a directional kickoff, okay? And I'm going to add lag players and safety players so that we have some vertical separation. Now, because we lagged a few guys, I now have 3 levels. I have my D-line and my blitzing linebackers. I have my second level players, and I have 2 safeties. I'm playing 3 under, 2 deep coverage and blitzing 6. Okay? That's pretty much what I'm doing here, okay? Some funky version of hot coverage. But that's what I'm trying to do. So this time, he finds a crease, but we have vertical levels here, okay? And we're able to prevent that big play from happening, okay? And I know a lot of you, probably everyone here is GFL, so you have the NCAA kickoff rules. There's so many lessons that can be learned from watching NFL and ELF kickoff and kick return, because it's such a horrible situation, okay, to be in. This is the worst situation you can be in as a kickoff team. All 10 coverage guys in the same horizontal line. So it forces you to really teach vertical levels, okay? They naturally happen on an NCAA kickoff. They don't naturally happen here, okay? It's hard to create vertical separation here, okay? It's hard, man. Especially when you play against the Frankfurt Galaxy and they pay the referees. That's really freaking hard, okay, guys? So here's the Kansas City Chiefs, okay? Kansas City was actually where we got this scheme from. Our DC worked with Dave Tope. And if you know Dave Tope, he's a long-time special teams coach in the NCAA and the NFL. And he basically talked me through what they were going to do, because that was the first year that the NFL was putting in the dynamic kickoff. Which, by the way, there ain't nothing fucking dynamic about it, okay? It's freaking hard to be a kickoff coach in this, okay? But anyway, you can see them creating these vertical levels, okay? You have some lag players who are just going to sit back and let the front, these guys are going to lag. You got a safety here. You got a safety up top. They trusted Harrison Butker to be their safety. Their kind of middle of the field safety, okay? Works really well for them because he's a willing tackler. But now you have different vertical levels and you're able to gang up and tackle the guy, okay? Which is so, so important in preventing the big play. So look at some NFL stuff. How do we create vertical levels on the NCAA or the GFL kickoff format, right? I have 3 types of players. I have hot players, I have fit-off players, and I have true safeties, okay? And I'm going to go through each one now. You don't have to write it down. You will not have time to write this down, okay? I'm going to talk way too fast. But it's okay, because you guys can all have this presentation for free, okay? Hot players, game wreckers, point of attack, fastest guys down the field, closest to the ball, disrupt the returner. That's it. Your only job is to fuck up the returner, okay? Whether you tackle him or you make him stop his feet and cut, just get your ass down there, okay? Grady NCAA hot players are put at the very point of attack of a directional kickoff. Here at South Carolina are using number 44. He's a mad guy, okay? It's good to have mentally unhinged people on your team, okay? It really helps you out, okay? Because you get guys running down like this, okay? But he's right at the point of attack, okay? He's going to be the closest guy to the football. He doesn't stop his feet. He just keeps running, and he forces that returner. He takes on, when we go to look at the end zone, you'll see it. He takes on like 4 guys in total, and that frees up other guys. Okay, that frees up a whole bunch of other dudes. And now we're working down the field, okay? So let's look at number 44. Watch him not stop his feet at all. Look how many blocks he ends up destroying and going through. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he forces that returner to make a jump cut. All of his buddies are there to gang it up. Okay, that's your hot player. If you're blessed to ever coach AJ Wentland, this crazy SOB is one of the best hot players for kickoff, especially in this format. He's deadly, because this is just like him blitzing on a defensive play. And he's like 6'5", 250. Like, no one's stopping his ass, okay? Whoever this guy is has had so much shit talked about him in different kickoff clinics, because he gets his ass whooped right here, okay? And all you need is a guy who's going to come off the ball at 1,000 miles an hour and just destroy the block. Here, he ends up just blowing up the whole play. For me, I kicked it down here. This is a directional kickoff down to the left, okay, as we look at it. And these are my 3 hot players. Dusan Novakovic, who is a defensive end in a bunch of different places. Awesome guy, firstly. Very funny dude. Kasper Oldak, who's a crazy linebacker, and AJ. These are my 3 hot players. These are my 3 go destroy it. okay? You can use slightly slower players in this kickoff format because they don't have to run 50 yards. But watch these three guys just absolutely fuck up the play. Look at AJ. Oh, my God. And then wrap, and then we get a big TFL, okay? They could have the ball here if they just fair catch it. Well, now you got it here. That's an 8-yard TFL. There are many people that would set their own mothers on fire for an 8-yard TFL, including myself, okay? Now, I love my mum. She's a saint, okay? But holy shit, man, 8 yards? Whoo! That's a lot of yards, okay? Anyway, next part, our fit-off players, those guys behind them. Behind the hot players, fit to the open gap. Read, fill, tackle. Fill holes, take souls, okay? That's what these guys are trying to do, okay? And you can get to it in different ways. I like what Coastal Carolina do here. They have multiple fit-off guys on the right, and they have one guy where the kick was supposed to go, okay? This guy's going to fit off of this guy. These two are fitting off like that, reading the block that guy gets, okay? And you'll see it slowly here. He gets knocked, so this guy wraps over the top just like a linebacker would, okay? And then works in to make the tackle. You can do it with guys that are slightly slower, or you can just truly say to him, I want you to lag a little bit, okay? So I'm kind of running 5 yards behind you and reading it, okay? One of the biggest things that I'll get into in a sec, people say, you can't stack on kickoff. Why the fuck not? Like, you don't have 11 players on defense stand 5 yards apart from each other on every play. That's just silly, right? I mean, it is, right? If anyone does that, you'll need to figure out defense, okay? But you're going to have stacked guys. You're going to have linebackers stacked behind defensive ends reading the block, okay? Whether they get down, pulled, pinned, fucking whatever, now they got to fit off of them, okay? Now we got our true safeties, okay? Our third-level players. Let the coverage completely outrun you. Track the ball carrier, okay? Lag, read, track, attack. Okay, that's just some words. You can use whatever you want. Okay, those are just the fast ones for me that I say to our guys, okay? So true safety play, for me, if you're in a directional kickoff, and you may think this is very simple, but you actually have to play safety over where the ball is, okay? Often in a directional kickoff, you're going to take your backside 10, I call him, if we're going 1 through to 10, or your backside 1, or your backside 5, whatever. He's got to play safety, but he can't play safety here because the ball is over here. So this is an example of bad safety play because he doesn't work over the ball. Now he has to wrap back around, and yeah, he helps on the tackle, but if he'd have just worked his ass over here as the safety, he's right there and he can make a much easier tackle. Instead of fucking around over here, thinking he's a cool guy, and then, oh, fuck, you got to get through. Now we've got to make a wraparound tackle. That's pretty hard, okay? Now, same team, okay? Still Coastal Carolina. Good safety play, okay? Now, he actually gets blocked here, but I want to show you the difference. Now, he works over to play safety where the ball actually is. Now, he gets a little bit nosy and sticks his nose in there, okay? We like him to hang back a little bit, but he's not playing safety from here. He's playing safety for where the ball is actually going to hit, okay? And that, for me, is good safety play. If you run a middle kickoff return, and you have your two guys like way out wide be the safeties, and they stay outside the numbers, you know, like, what are we doing, okay? It's bad coaching, okay? Now, I've talked about it a little bit, but we're going to talk about why you're here, the directional kickoff, okay? This is my way to mitigate, you know, different kickoff return schemes that might be quite dangerous, okay? For starters, you do need a good kicker, but this is Europe. Everyone can kick. If you don't have a guy on your team that can kick, you need a different recruiter, okay? Like, you just do, okay? We grow up kicking. We should have at least one good kicker on our team, okay? Go to a fucking local soccer club and find a guy and say, hey, you know, you want to play American football, the only thing you have to do is learn how to kick direction, okay? Find a goalkeeper, okay? Find an Irish Gaelic football player, okay? Those are all guys that can help you, okay? At least one guy can be a good kicker, okay? It depends on having great kickoff location. But the whole idea is I want to shrink the space down. I want to compress the returner, okay? I want to cut off the field return and overload that target area so he has nowhere to go. Honestly, the returner should get the ball, and from my point of view, should see exactly this. Just a whole bunch of bodies and heads and helmets and shoulder pads, okay? He goes here. Oh, shoot, you're keeping good leverage on me. Can't go there. Here, oh, shoot, you're keeping good leverage on me. Can't go there. So I'm going into the teeth of the kickoff. That's what we want. We really want a clusterfuck, okay? The definition of a clusterfuck is loads of people in one area. You can't really figure it out. There's no space. Eventually, he gets tackled. I don't need incredible form tackling on kickoff because it's hard. You're running 900 yards downfield, and then you got to break down. And then to make a form tackle there, you're asking a lot of amateur players, okay? If we can just cluster this guy in, eventually someone's going to bring him down, okay? This is realistic to our level of football, okay? I'm not going to cover an American returner and give him 53.3 yards of space laterally. Makes no sense. These guys are like rabbits. They're like, pew, 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 pew. If you've ever seen Devin Burrell play, he's dangerous because he's like, pew, gets there, flips the whole field. We want to cut this field in half, ideally. I want to force him into a corner, like I just said, run him straight into the teeth of my kickoff unit, okay? That's the whole aim with directional kickoff. Again, you need a good kicker to do it, okay? This was the scheme we put in Poland, okay? This is to the right, okay? Here's my hot players, my fit-off players. He was a bonus hot player, okay? Cut off, major cut off. If it gets outside of him, we're fucked. Safety, and then another lag player, okay? So I have my kicker as well. I really get 4 defensive linemen here. I get 3 linebackers. I get my field cutoff, my mega field cutoff, where if it gets outside of you, we're kind of screwed. And then my safety. And then I tell my kicker, put the ball on the right hash. We don't need to disguise it, okay? Don't get too cute with kickoff. I've done it before, and it bit me in the ass. Try to disguise it. Put the ball over here. Kicking it all the way over there. It's a really, really long kickoff, okay? So make it easy for your guy. Kicker, put the ball on the hash, okay? And here, you'll see it again. The reason I'm showing you, this ELF stuff is because the concepts translate. They translate across to the NCAA style, okay? So this is it, right? Here's my cutoff, my first guy. You got to keep it all there. If it doesn't get outside of you, we're covering that guy and negating 20 yards where he could go to, okay? Then here's my kind of safety cutoff guy. My safety, true safety, loses ground, works over, lag, fit, lag, fit, lag. By lag, I literally mean stand at the line of scrimmage for 1 second and then work in so you're a true second level player. And then attack, be a hot player, okay? And that's how we get those different vertical levels. And somebody makes a tackle because we have different levels. Also, we used really, really good players on that team, on that kickoff unit. Go through here. You can see the same thing here, like I've already talked about where we got this from the Chiefs, okay? Using a very similar concept. Here we go. So there's your different vertical levels, right? It's very similar, okay? You have a lag player here who's going to go slightly behind. You have a lag player here. You have a lag player here. You have your safety. Your guy's cutting off on the backside. We're trying to tackle this ball outside the numbers, okay? Great kick location. Force him into the teeth of the defense where all those guys are. There's your cover 3, right? We're playing cover 3 on defense now. There's my safeties. There's my contain guys. And now we're having a little bit of a fight after the play because we just kicked their ass, okay? Awesome. Okay, here's my NCAA version, okay? Very similar. Here's my hot player. He's going to be a fit-off guy. Hot player, hot player, hot player. Fit off. I loop him all the way around because it's hard for that guy to pick him up when he loops 2 guys. But he's like your linebacker, okay? This one's called a fat trim. He works off the back of the kick return. I'll talk to you about that in a sec. And there's my 2 cutoff guys. There's my safety. There's my other safety. I'm playing cover 2. Okay, that's all I'm doing. I'm playing cover 2 with this. Okay? And we'll go through what that looks like, okay? Again, these are amateur guys doing it, okay? So some of the techniques aren't incredible, okay? Bad coaching by me, I guess. I'll get better. Don't worry, guys. I'm here to get better, okay? But there's my hot players up front. We're kicking this ball all the way down there. I want to make this tackle outside the hash. This was an 80-yard field, which is just horseshit. But, it's amateur. We see it, okay? We see it. You guys, maybe some of you play on 80-yard fields. Most of us play on 90-yard fields, right? 45-yard line's kind of the halfway line. If you're lucky, you get to play on a 100-yard field. But I had a really accurate kicker. Struggled on a 100-yard field because he didn't have the long leg, but he's very accurate, so we were good at this. Here's my fat trimmer. He's working off the back of the kick return to make a wraparound tackle, kind of like a defensive end that surfs and then wraps around the back of the offensive line if the quarterback hands it off on any kind of zone reel deal. And there's my cutoff guys at the back. If you ever need to have a player hold the football, write this down. Use your safety, okay? Don't use the guy closest to the ball if it's not his job to be the safety, okay? Always use the safety, because then he can be there, he can see the ball go, and then he can jog down, and he's doing his job, okay? If I'm a hot player and I have to hold the ball, I gotta fucking get down. Firstly, I'm probably a defensive player, probably a defensive end, so my knees kind of hurt a little bit there, and then I'm like, kick. Christ, now I've got to run down, okay? Use your safety, okay? So that's what I did. Took the guy that was way over here. Hey, you got to come over here. It doesn't matter. His job is to play safety right here anyway. I'm just taking him from way over there. So this is our scheme, right? And now he's going to lag behind and play safety. So we get great kick location. We force him to do exactly this. Run into the T for the defense. What we don't do, and you can all fucking see it, right? Woo! That's going to happen. We don't do a good job at 5 and 6 of keeping our leverage. That's okay. That's why I have a fat trimmer. Right here, work off the back of the kick return. Great near foot, near shoulder tackle, okay? But again, where was that tackle made? Way outside the hash. Lovely directional kickoff. NCAA directional kickoff, okay? I'll skip to the end zone here because it's a little clearer. But where are we trying to make the tackle? At the numbers, right? Here it's a little less clear for me on whose role is what. But the general trend is your backside 1 and 2, as I call it, your 9 and 10, are going to either do some version of cutting this off or work it over to make a safety play. All of these guys are squeezing this kick return down. These are your best tacklers right here, okay? And then you get your second safety working over the top, okay? But again, where do they make this tackle? Way out by the numbers, okay? And then we compress down, okay? That's a great example of a directional kickoff. Okay, talk about landmarks and man marks now, okay? If you've heard this phrase before, okay, probably a little cleverer than me. It took me a long time to ever come across this phrase, okay? I actually came across this when I started coaching outside zone, and we would tell the tailback, you got to run at the man mark, which is the outside leg of the tackle or the tight end that we're running this at. Then I saw one clip of Kyle Flood, who's the OC at Texas, saying that he learned landmarks from special teams coach. And I was like, well, shit, I'm a special teams coach. Why have I never talked about man marks before? Okay, what's the difference, okay? Landmarks, they're on the field. They will never, ever move. The hashes will never stand up and go 2 yards this way, okay? However, a man mark, which is something on a player, near hip, near shoulder, far number, stuff you use all the time in offensive and defensive coaching, okay? If I'm the left tackle on outside zone, there's a 5 there. My aim point is the outside armpit, okay? To get my hat to the play side armpit, okay? That's a man mark. It's going to move. If he stunts in, oh shit, we're good. If he works out with me, I got to keep working to get over, okay? They exist in special teams as well, okay? I find that, I don't think any one way of explaining things is wrong. I don't think anything is wrong. I just think there are other ways to do it. I think coaches that exclusively coach kickoff with landmarks, i.e. you're going to be on the hash. You're 3 yards from the hash. You're 5 yards from the numbers. If the return goes all the way that way, then there's no point in me being there, okay? There's a little bit of a man mark element in kickoff, okay? I use a combination of both, okay? Different kickoff schemes, you've all heard lane discipline, right? Everyone's heard lane discipline, okay? It's good. I get it. I get why you want to do it. It relates to the distance, really, between kickoff players down the field, okay? And it relates to, really, landmarks on the field. Hey, your ass has got to be 5 yards from the hash, okay? But you don't tackle stationary objects. You never tackle the goalposts. If you do, you know what I'm saying? Okay? A kick return scheme doesn't just go vertical, turn around, and stay in the exact same spaces. They move laterally. Okay? The aim point moves. Okay? You don't tackle a tree. Okay? I'm going to talk about some man marks that I teach in the directional kickoff. Okay? The first one is the fat trimmer. Okay? He's got to recognize where the back of the kick return unit is and wrap around the back of it. Okay? Which is essentially the kick return is going this way. He's got to find the edge of it, which is either the tackle or maybe a guard or an up back that's going to come kick him out and be the edge player of it, okay? This comes from scouting things on film, okay? So here you got LSU and USC. Really good example down here, number 25. He's the fat trimmer in this, okay? He's going to work behind the back of this kick return scheme, and then he's going to make a wraparound tackle. You're going to see it. 3, 2, 1, boom. Okay, all the kick return's gone away. Work in, work in, work in, wrap behind, make a wraparound tackle, okay? That's really nice. Now, if I'm maybe coaching him, you know, initially, I may have coached him, hey, your ass has got to stay outside the numbers. Well, if it's a middle return, I'm not going to make a tackle there, okay? I'm going to make a tackle on the edge of the kick return, okay? Come on, film, what you doing? Look at it from the end zone here. If he stays on that vertical line, like we're never going to make a tackle. He recognizes that his man works down, so he's going to trim everything off and wrap around the back of it, okay? That's the first example of playing with a man mark, okay? Stack and fit, that should say number 2, okay? We talked about fit-off players, okay? Lag players. I give them a man mark. I say, hey, track the block of the guy in front of you and fit off of it, okay? That means if, Coach, can you stand up for me? That means if right here, you stand up as well, sir. Yeah, your ass stand up as well. That means your ass is tracking him, and I go here, you're going to fit there. No, you're not going to fit in the same gap as him. Oh, my God. Okay, I know you guys didn't expect that. Okay, good job. Way to go. Sit down. I know you guys didn't expect that, okay? But you're going to track him as well, okay? You're not tracking a landmark on the field. You're tracking a man, a point on the man, okay? So here, let's look at South Carolina. Hey, this is a great game for special teams teach tape. Number 13 is the lag player here, okay? He's going to watch the blocks happen on the 3 guys in front of him, wrap over the front, and then make a tackle. It's like a pseudo safety role, okay? But again, he's working, he's stacking here, and he's looking for where that guy fits. Okay, now I got to work out here because that's the open gap. Fill it, tackle the guy, okay? Good tackle, okay? I like it. Okay, my opinion, again, subject to change. I may go to another talk and hear about landmarks, and I may love it, and I'll completely change, okay? Don't be afraid to change, okay? It's growth. Combining landmarks and man marks, it's an effective way to maintain horizontal spacing, but also react to the kickoff return and get your players closer to the football. The directional kickoff is all about getting a bunch of guys in one space and forcing the returner to run into the teeth of the kickoff unit, okay? So that's what we're trying to do here, okay? The directional kickoff, it is an extremely aggressive and non-reactive kickoff scheme. I'm going to kick it way down over there to you, and you're not going to be able to get over here. Okay, I'm going to cut all this off. You have to go up here. That's the mindset of a directional kickoff. If you kick it straight down the middle, okay, you can go there, you can go there, you can go there, and then there, which is really dangerous. I'm leaving you a lot open, okay? If I'm trying to force you there, okay, you may get to a point where you just go, fuck it, let's get vertical right here and get some vertical yards. Great, you run into my guys. Or you go, hey, I'm going to try and flip the field on you. Okay, run 50 yards laterally, don't gain a single fucking yard of vertical gain, and I'll tackle you on that sideline. That's the mindset of directional kickoff, ELF and NCAA, okay? Yeah, so I've just said, okay? We use landmarks only for our cutoff players. Cut the guy off on the posts, cut the guy off on the inside of the numbers. Those are my 2 cutoff guys. And that cutoff lane may actually start to work out, because if I'm running down the posts and then, sir, in the Tyrrell Raiders, you start working out here, shoot, man, if I cut you off at the post, I'm not cutting you off because you're outside of me. So now I got to keep working to get outside there. Okay, so even the guys who have landmarks, some of those change, okay? It's all a moving, living organism, okay? And then in order to effectively prepare your players to recognize man marks related to your opponent, you got to have a basic understanding of kick return schemes. You don't have to know everything, okay? But you got to have a basic understanding of some of the common schemes you'll see, okay? I'm not going to talk about breaking all of this down in depth. I'm just going to show you the common ones which you'll probably see this season. Okay, so there's many different types of kickoff schemes. Generally, for me, it all, reverses are reverses. They're tricky, okay? They're fun to play. You got to know the keys, okay? The counter return is very dangerous. That's the risk of kicking down the middle. You leave yourself open to the returner going here, and all your kickoff starts to flow there, puts his foot in the ground and works back. The middle return and either sideline return. Really, it's not a whole lot outside of that. You can liken it to different run schemes. Hey, this is a power return. This is a trap return. whatever. It's middle, sideline, or back and forth, okay? The key for examining a KOR is to find the key for the direction. Which up back determines where it's going every time. Is there a key when they do a reverse? Does one of the up backs immediately turn and lose ground? Okay, I got you. Maybe. Okay, so, and do they have any tendencies? Do they always open with a left return, a right return? A lot of you guys probably always return to your sideline so you can influence the referees, right? Correct? Yep, me too. Okay, way to go, okay? And then what are the keys, like I said, for those tricks and reverses? You got to do that on film, okay? Just like offense and defense film, okay? Classic zone KOR, okay? Classic zone KOR. All we want to do, we're essentially running inside zone to the left, okay? All these guys are going to work to the left. If they cross face, then we're going to zone them out. If they stay there, then we're going to kill them back in, okay? Everyone's just working to the left. And we're letting number 10 read it out, okay? Great read, number 10. Way to go. Woo, 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 woo. Again, awesome. That was the only time their kicker didn't kick it into the end zone, okay? Sometimes they want to flip the field on you, okay? This is a directional kickoff by Old Dominion. Great location. They're trying to flip the field. My cutoff guy gets there. Awesome. Love it. So that's negated. Now you got the middle return, okay? Middle return you can really normally clearly see with the front line. They're normally going to split in half, and they're going to try to do this and insert all of your up backs and your off returners up the middle, okay? Middle, flip the field, classic sideline return, okay? The modern wedge. I say modern wedge because you're not allowed to get in a group, and we all sit down here and we go, let's go, guys, let's attack these guys. But they kind of get to the same point. They communicate. There's communication on a wedge, and then they get their asses up the field, okay? Where are we at now? Middle return, modern wedge. I only got 5 minutes, guys, so I got to fly through this now. And then the counter return. Now, this is my scheme, okay? It's not really my scheme. It's someone else's scheme. The returner had a lot of trust in me because this week I said, hey, you're going to run 5 steps to the right. You're going to put your foot in the ground, and you're going to blindly turn back to the left, and the gap is going to be there, which is a lot of trust to put in a coach, okay? Thankfully, he trusted me. So we get everyone flowing one way, and that's the softest holding call you've ever seen. It's like being in Frankfurt. Oh, my God. And now we get our asses up the sideline, okay? Okay, last thing I'm going to talk about, okay? It's going to go fast, okay? Don't worry, okay? It's not even that bad. I still got ages. Okay, the toolbox to attack, kick, return blocks, okay? The different block destruction techniques we use. For me, when I say destroy a block, okay? Also known as bully technique or press and peek, okay? Engage the blocker, aim to knock him back, use your eyes to find the ball, rip off, and tackle, okay? Bully technique's great when you are very close to the returner vertically, and I'll talk about that in a second as well, because that's a key part of this, okay? Selecting the right way to defeat a block. So here you're going to look at 41 and 45. 41 gets knocked out because he bullies, but he drops his head. So he loses track of the ball. 45, okay, bullies with his eyes up. He's actually able to end up ripping off, okay? Hands inside, control the block, rip off and find the ball carrier even though he's being held. That looks like a certain city in Europe, which I'll stop saying now. Okay, here we go. Then we got block avoid. Reduce your surface area. If you're 5'9", 180, it's very easy to reduce your surface area. If you're 6'5", 240, you got to have some bend, okay? Run around the blocker, whether we're going front door or back door, okay? Potentially restack, find the ball, make a tackle. Okay, example of a front side avoid is if the blocker is facing me, I'm going to rip across his face. Okay, right here, number 11 is using a mix of press and peek and front side avoid, and he's ripping across the face and making a tackle, keeping his leverage. That's a nice play, okay? Backdoor avoid, okay? This is probably what everyone teaches, okay? It's definitely what I used to teach, okay? I'm avoiding to the butt side, okay? Avoiding to the butt side. So watch this guy here. He's a long way away from the returner. Flip, butt side. Then he's got another rip in there, and he makes the returner, you know, do a little juke cut. That's a great job by him, okay? I'm either running in front of you or backdooring you, okay? But the key thing is the selection of what I do. And this is where the teaching is so important. And then this relates to a whole different 29 million year conversation of how you structure your practice. Ecological practice design, skill acquisition, blah, 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 all of that. It's all interesting. But, you know, I don't have 29 million years. I have like 3 minutes, okay? Beating a block involves locating the ball. First thing, I got to know where I'm trying to get to. Locate the most dangerous blocker, the guy who's going to block me. Select the skill that I'm going to use. Deploy the skill. Affect the ball carrier, okay? If I don't affect the ball carrier, did I actually beat the block? I could run around you. Woo, I beat the block. Oh, damn. You're the ball carrier, and it's touchdown. Hey, I beat my block. Shut up. No, you didn't. You fucking gave up a touchdown, okay? Here we go. What determines the selection of the skill, okay? For me, this is a very important point as well. I take a picture of it. The relationship of the coverage player to the ball carrier, not the body position of the return blocker. So you've all taught, if I do this, you're going to avoid me there, correct? Everyone's done that at some point on kickoff, okay? You do a drill where they run at you, the guy does that, and you always avoid butt side. Great, what if that's the returner? Not good, right? That guy's up the sideline, okay? So it's about the relationship of the coverage player to the ball carrier, not the position of the blocker. That is the most important thing when determining what skill to use, okay? That's what I do think gets lost sometimes, okay? What is the relationship? It's the vertical distance and the horizontal distance. How far away from you laterally? How much space do we have? If I've got all that much space to the back of the room, I would like to get into some kind of a void. If you're right there, I ain't avoiding, because if I avoid, your ass is running up past me, okay? I got to press and peek this guy back, get my eyes on you, and then I can control the block, okay? Selection is so important, okay? Here's an example of bad coaching, okay? Because I'm coaching this guy here to use backdoor technique, always, no matter what, okay? Hey, this is a good return scheme, good special teams coordinator right here. You know, big props to you, Coach Yorn, okay, for getting after me in this game. But you'll see he uses the wrong block technique, right? He goes around the back of the guy when he should have front doored it, and now he's behind chasing the guy, okay? Bad coaching. Okay, whether it's bad coaching or bad execution, whatever, it's always on the coach, okay? Here, what should he do really? Probably use front door, because the guy's right there. Let's just use front door here, because you have a better angle. Takes you a long time to get out. And now we're chasing the guy at the sideline, and that's a pretty fast dude, okay? That's why you put him back there, okay? One more example of front side choice. I swear I'm almost done. I swear I'm almost done, okay? I've done so well for time. Oh, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Here we go, okay? Good front door choice, okay? Let's use it. Let's look at it from the end zone, okay? So here you got number 12. This is such good teach tape, okay? The returner is all the way down there, okay? This guy's coming to block him. Why the fuck would that guy go back door right here when the returner's all the way down there? What is a quicker path to the ball? That? Whee! Or that? You tell me, guys, okay? No one's a mathematician here or a geometrist, but that's pretty obvious, okay? Use front door technique there. Good. Physical front door technique gets you close to the ball carrier, dominant tackle, okay? And then the final part of this is teaching the skill selection, okay? I always start with teaching the skill, very simple drills, front door void, back door void, okay? You can do it, oh shit, where's my thing? Okay, it's in there somewhere, okay? Once you teach the skill, then you add the element of the reaction. I don't need to show you a dip and rip drill. Everyone's done them, okay? Avoid selection drill, very simple, okay? Here's me. Here's the intended ball carrier. He's where we're starting, okay? Now, you got to rip backdoor and tackle, okay? We're going to continuously do this, okay? Then I'm going to move the donut a little further along to show the guys, hey, when the ball carrier's in this relation now, I got to think about front door. Here I'm determining the path for the guy. The next drill on top of this is different speeds of rolling the donut to say, hey, if you think you can make it on back door, take it. If it's way too far in front, make the decision on the fly and go front door, okay? Those are the two drills. And you can do that with moving players and just doing tag off. I like using a donut because you get the guy to go low, okay? And you give him something to wrap around. I swear I'm so close, okay? And then every week, create chaotic environments in practice which test their ability to select and execute skills, okay? I do this every week. It's only about 20 yards of vertical distance. Give these 4 players a very simple return scheme. Throw the ball to a returner. These guys have to go tackle him. Every single week I did this. It continuously develops their skill of recognizing it. You can go fast and do it, okay? look, it's not a big distance. You're not going to create big impact. You don't need a whole bunch of guys to do this, okay? But I'm going to throw the ball to the returner, and then these guys have got to use their skills, keep their leverage, and make a tackle. That's a pretty good, I'm fine with that, okay? Let's look at the next one. This time, we don't keep leverage on the backside here. So the guy in the white jersey over on the left gets knocked in, so we let the returner get outside. That's a good teaching point, okay? Keep everything on your right foot and your right shoulder, squeeze everything in. I told you I was done. Takeaways. I'm 5 through. Use principles of offense and defense to make chaotic things seem a little simpler, reduce the information load on new players, let them play faster. Players play, coaches coach, timekeepers timekeep, referees referee, okay? You just coach, let the players play, okay? Teach tackle approach, keep in leverage, and block destruction, all of those skills before you install any scheme. Get it in a compressed space, then work it out a little wider, okay? Continuously develop it throughout the season. You can do those drills every week. Keep doing it. It's fast. If you can coach fast, do it, okay? And then finally, I am a big proponent for effective directional kickoff can control any return of any type, okay? You can get after it by being aggressive, okay? If you want my contact details, they're there. Appreciate you guys. I'll be over somewhere else, okay? Appreciate it.